Hi, Anna the Owlcat here, and I thought it would be fun to A, try to film, and B, show you the gadget that I am currently using to make pots on. This is it. It's small, isn't it? It's a 12 volt unit. It didn't cost a great deal, and because it's only 12 volt, if you put your finger on there too hard, it does pretty much stop the wheel. So it's a bit of a learning curve with it. The other thing is it's Chinese and it only goes in one direction, which happens to be not the normal for English potters. In addition to that, because I'm working on the kitchen table, I have what was a grass cutting box off the mower, and it serves as a splashback to control the mess. I have a couple of wires, one of which is a twisted wire, one is a bit of fishing line for cutting clay and what have you. I have the flimsy little metal kidneys, which I used to lift off and scrape your product off at the end. Most importantly, I have a large pot of water, which is something you need constantly and big enough to get the hand in. I have a few tools here for pulling, because it's tiny and I can't get my finger in there. I tend to use this hockey stick shaped gadget, which came out of a cake decorating set. I also have one little surgical blade type carving tool, a pin tool which is used for trimming up the top, and a miniature carving blade which sometimes helps while it's still on the wheel, just to tidy up the bottom before it comes off. As well as my hands, you also need sponges to smooth things off and keep the general mess down. So I've got a few sponges here, some of them just cosmetic sponges that I've cut up to give me a sharp edge and hopefully a neater finish. And sponge on a stick if the neck is big enough to dip water out. Anyway, I'm going to pop those things back in there for the second, and today I'm using a new type of clay, which is a Glorex Soft Tongue. It's a gorgeous red colour, it feels really silky smooth, and it's actually a terracotta that came from Lombardy in Italy. So I'm expecting great things, because I really hope it's going to dry to that lovely Italian rustic type colour. So far it's staining my hands like a few. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. Now, when you're making miniatures, whereas if you were making, say, a pot or a small cup or something, you'd be using a ball of clay that size on a standard potter's wheel. I'm working at 1/12 scale. Now, because it's volume, it isn't even 1/12 of that, and I actually only need a piece of clay. Now, I'm aiming to make a large flower pot. Imagine a patio pot that's like the equivalent of 12-15 inches high. And so I'm only actually going to be using something of that size, like that. Now, I think I'm going to take a break here, because I haven't done any claying for a week, and it does take me a couple of attempts to get into the swing of it and do the centering and stuff. So I'm going to have a few practices, and then I'm going to come back and give you a right giggle and attempt to film myself making something on the wheel. So see you shortly.